That was a look at your local forecast. Now for a look at the top weather stories. It's Saturday, September 17th. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka. Hurricane Maria made landfall in southeastern Newfoundland Friday. Thankfully, it fell short of predictions. Now to another story. Into Ontario. The Niagara region in Ontario produces some of the best wine grapes in the world. To BC now, where the potato harvest has been saved due to a stretch of warm and dry weather. Spud farmers are very weather dependent, and this year's spring has been a big letdown. It's always good news. Now elsewhere in BC, it was a joyous occasion for Stewart residents. The northwestern town was cut off more than a week after heavy rain washed out Highway 37A. But after much hard work, a temporary bridge was opened to the public on Friday. Now still there's loads of repairs to be completed on the highway. Now it was an exciting weather week, and to prove it, here's a list of the top 5 videos. You're in luck if you tuned in to find out about your local forecast, because that's coming up in less than 60 seconds. But I'm going to give you a little sneak peek across the country from coast to coast, beginning, well, we'll begin in central Canada, where in Toronto we are looking at sunny skies, 18 degrees, so still a little below seasonal. That's for tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, some active weather. So Monday, it's going to be a late day story. Tuesday, an early day story, then clearing. And that's going to be the case for most of us through central regions of the country. But as you can see, Monday, it's going to be a little bit more steady for us in Windsor. Now to eastern Canada, we're looking at active weather coming to us on Tuesday, Montreal, and also for you in Halifax on Monday and Tuesday as well. Temperatures dipping down to about 14 for us in St. John's. That's for Sunday, and also on Tuesday. More to come. Your locals are now. I hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. We've been looking at fall-like conditions right across the country, and we first take you to Niagara Falls. Summer weekend now, so do enjoy it across the country. Now, one thing that's slightly unusual for this time of year is a weather bomb in the Pacific. That's this area of low pressure right here. It's in and around the Aleutian Islands right now, and it is approaching coastal BC by Monday, especially more so Tuesday, Wednesday, moving into the interior. And essentially what that means is that we're looking at a lot of strong winds and heavy rain, so we're going to be having some rain and wind warnings in effect more likely, most likely come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening, Wednesday as well along the central and northern coast of BC. Now let me show you exactly how this area of low pressure is moving in on the area. So glad you could make it here to the Weather Network. I'm Kasia Bodurka, and we have a lot coming up, including your local forecast that's coming up very shortly. And after that, we're talking about your national forecast. We first take you to southern Ontario. It's been beautiful all week, high pressure in place, and I'll have all the details and stats about Hurricane Maria coming up very shortly. In the meantime, your local forecast is right now. Please stay with us. That was your local forecast, and now it's time to talk about your national forecast from coast to coast, what we're expecting. But first, let's talk about what happened in the past. We were bracing ourselves for Hurricane Maria all week. That was the big story, hours, and that's going to be lasting throughout Sunday. Now I'm going to break down the story for you in more central regions of the country across the prairies. We are looking at a trough passing through the Saskatchewan area, bringing us a hit or miss thunder shower, a little bit of showers in the overnight hours, picking up throughout the Manitoba area Sunday morning. That's when we could be seeing some active weather throughout the Ontario region, northwestern Ontario, pushing its way further east into the afternoon hours. Southern Ontario, it's not until Monday and late day Monday that we're going to be seeing some rainy weather. So your drive home from work certainly could be wet, and it could be wet enough to slow some things down in the Toronto area, GTA especially, and these are the rainfall totals we're looking at. So between 10 and 20 millimeters of rain along the shores of Superior. That's where we're going to be seeing the most amounts of rain. Now across the prairies, high pressure in place, sunny skies, not a lot of cloud cover, temperatures a little on the cooler side Sunday morning, and it will be building closer to seasonal for the afternoon hours. Now one thing we're talking about right now for BC is the really strong winds. I'm sure sure you're noticing it if you're in Bella Coola or Bella Bella rather, or Haida Gwaii. Winds are sustained at 90 kilometers per hour, so very, very intense it is. And in fact, Environment Canada has issued that warning. So staying inside, securing all your valued objects on the outside. Now we're looking at an area of low pressure moving into BC, and there's actually two areas of low pressure that we are watching because we do have a weather bomb approaching the area. So there will be more watches and warnings in place in the next few days for central and northern coastal regions of BC in terms of rainfall and in terms of wind. But we do still have some rain on Sunday morning through the interior as well as northern regions. Now across the country, this is what we're looking at. This area of low pressure moving into the Ontario area. That's Sunday, so northwestern Ontario expecting rain for you, pushing its way to northeastern Ontario into the afternoon hours. Keeping that in mind, fair conditions with high pressure in place across Atlantic Canada. It's going to be another great day for you. Low pressure for you, Vancouver, Victoria. All right, now let's begin on Monday with an area of low pressure still affecting us in Ontario. Southern Ontario, it's going to be a late day story for you. Breezy and an area of low pressure for you as well for the eastern regions of Atlantic Canada, with seasonal conditions right across the prairies and a little bit of rain coming to northern coastal regions of BC. Now it's going to become really stormy for us on Tuesday for the coast of BC. That's that weather bomb that we're talking about, with fair conditions and temperatures warming up across the prairies and a lot of active weather across the eastern flank of the country on Tuesday and also on Wednesday. A little rain to you. More to come. What was the big story everybody was talking about across the country this week? Hurricane Maria. We all were bracing ourselves along the Atlantic coast, and we first take you to images. As previously predicted, that's good news, but it did pack a punch and it moved through the area very quickly. Now, speaking of active weather, I now take you to Alberta and Saskatchewan, where take a look at this blue color that we're looking at on the radar. This is happening now. That is snow in the foothills. So the higher elevations, yes, snow is happening now. The green that we're looking at, rain. So isolated showers for a lot of us across Alberta, and that's going to be clearing out in the overnight hours. More so for you, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. That's going to be your story for tomorrow, especially Manitoba. Looking at strong winds, Haida Gwaii and Bella Bella, winds sustained at 90 kilometers an hour, happening now, and that's issued by Environment Canada. And this afternoon, we're looking at, well, an area of low pressure affecting a lot of us in BC. I'm going to have more on active weather in BC coming up very shortly.